This is a winter weather alert from the Arkansas Storm Team.
The Arkansas Storm Team tracking winter weather, a live update with brand new weather information coming in just a moment from the Weather Center. But first, we want to go right to Dave Parker, a spokesperson for RDOT. Dave, we are watching some of these road conditions here in Arkansas, and things are starting to get pretty slick out there. Dave Parker, are you there? Okay, we must have just lost Dave. We'll try reestablishing a connection with him, but we are in a winter storm warning right now. Things are getting slick across Arkansas. Some highways, roadways, interstates, no matter where you are. If you are in line with some of this sleet and this snow that was coming in, you would know that things started deteriorating very, very quickly. We'll try getting with Dave here in just a moment, but I want to get to our weather center where meteorologist Hayden Nix is standing by. Hayden, we have been watching things quickly start to go south here, and we are only in phase one of this 1-2 punch today.
Absolutely. And Mitch, that's something we wanted to bring up. We've been talking about that all weekend long. We said as soon as the accumulation would start, it was going to stick immediately. And that part of the forecast has verified. Now, as you mentioned, and we've had some people on social media are wondering, well, is this it? Well, no. Today is wave one. So with the first storm system, we've got two waves. So the first will be coming through for the next several hours here. Then we'll have just a small break. And then later tonight, we'll have more of a window of where the final wave, which will have more of the accumulation amounts moving in. But you've got a live look of downtown Little Rock at this time. You can see a lot of white coating the surfaces of parking lots and even the streets there. And you can even see Broadway Bridge there. Traffic is moving, but we are seeing some of that ice building up. Let me just give you an overview here. Satellite radar imagery showing that we've got a lot of activity across areas of the central U.S. And you can see that very first wave. That's what's currently ongoing right now. And then once that lifts out, then this is going to be wave number 2 that begins to come in later tonight that will add more to our accumulation amounts. And so far, we're going to see everything that falls out of the sky sticking because temperatures across the entire state are well below freezing. We've got teens across much of the state, single digits in northern Arkansas, and low 20s across areas of southwestern Arkansas. And that's about as warm as we are going to get today, Mitch. And that's just the air temperature. Don't forget, we do have wind that has to be factored into this as well. We have single digit wind chill value readings across much of the north half of the state. And then we even have below zero wind chill values for areas of far northern and northwestern Arkansas. So real quick, I want to show you the latest here with Forecast Track and how this will likely play out. I think so far it's doing a pretty decent job with how the current precipitation is moving across the state. I think it might have a little bit too much on the back end here, but certainly we're going to see a break between this area and then the one that's coming in out west later. So we had for a couple of hours this morning, sleet mainly, and then a little bit of light flurry action mixing around. We are going to continue to see this activity transitioning to full snow as we move on to the overnight hours. The only area that may continue to see a little bit more sleet will be areas of far southeastern Arkansas, where the profile still supports it, but we should start to see that change into all snow later on. So I'm going to stop it at midnight now. We're beginning to see the very first wave, the tail end of it disappearing, and then here comes the second wave. So this is 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can see much of the state dealing with snowfall, and a lot of the heavier activity will be across the southeast half of the state. And this is where we could see some of our higher accumulation totals. But look how quick this moves through. By noontime, we're about to see the southwest half of the state beginning to see things taper off. And then by the mid to late afternoon hours at the latest, we should have most of all of this wrapping up across the state. And that is storm system number 1. So here's our updated map here. We have not adjusted this, Mitch, much at all. We added just a small corridor where there could be a little bit less moisture to work with. But one thing I want you to take away from this map here is everyone is going to see something. All right, so we've got 2 to 5 inches. That's the new adjustment that we made, 3 to 6 far northwest. But the purple area is the 3 to 6 plus. The plus is because this part of the state could have what we call convective banding, where we could have some heavier snow bursts that could allow for some of those totals to exceed the higher end of the threshold. Not everyone, but just some narrow swaths could see that. And it's impossible to pinpoint exactly where that's going to set up until it's happening in real time. We can narrow it down, but still it's a large area of real estate that this could happen in, but it could be only the size of maybe a county or two where this sets up here. It could be several counties. So we'll just have to continue to watch how that plays out. But as I mentioned, we've already got some roadways that are pretty slick out there. We're going to continue to add on to this as we move into the late overnight hours and into Monday. For now, we're going to keep the accumulations on the lighter side until we head to that second wave that comes in.
Meteorologist Hayden Nix in the Weather Center, and I know that there's a lot of forecast data that you guys are still going to have to analyze here, but I mean, at this point, road conditions are already getting pretty bad. I mean, things are slick out there, and it seems like things will only get worse as the night goes on, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah, so you're just adding more accumulation to what's already occurring. So we just have a little bit of a light accumulation right now. And this is why we brought this up over the weekend. As far as impacts go, all precip is going to stick immediately. It doesn't matter if it's 1 inch of accumulation or 5 inches of accumulation. Both are going to create a high impact to travel, which means we're going to see a reduced normal capability of movement on the roadways. So we highly encourage you to stay off the roads and just settle in at home. And don't forget too, we're bringing all this in saying that we've got multiple storms coming in and dangerously cold temperatures, and that's a lot to pay attention to, but we also need to have a little fun as well. We don't get snow often here in Arkansas, Mitch, and so I know a lot of kids and even parents are probably going to be excited to wake up and experience this, especially on Monday and then possibly again on Wednesday into Thursday with system number 2. But one more thing I want to bring up here, and this is something that's important as well when I brought up the dangerously cold temperatures. So right now we are forecasting readings to not get above freezing for much of the week, but probably some of the coldest numbers we're going to experience will be tonight, tomorrow, and into Tuesday. So this is Monday afternoon. Temperatures probably not getting out of the teens or even some single digits across areas of northern Arkansas. So temperature, the air temperature is the number in white. The wind chill value, which you do have to factor in, is the light blue area. Then look what happens once we've got the snow finishing up. It's going to create the ability for us to cool down pretty efficiently overnight. So by Tuesday morning, there's a possibility of seeing a lot of readings near zero. I think this might be a little bit on the colder side than what we could see, but certainly not too far off. We're forecasting a low. I'm still working on that around 1 to maybe 3 degrees. It doesn't matter at that point. It's still just cold outside, with wind chill values likely below zero for Tuesday morning. This is also going to create a lot of demand on the power grid. So when we say power outages, we're more referring to not the sleet and the snow causing issues, but it's more of what's creating with the cold, and then more people keeping their heaters on and more demand for more homes. So we'll have to definitely make sure to keep an eye on that.
Meteorologist Hayden Nix, I know that we have to let you go because you have another forecast to put together here. KRK 4 News at 5. We have team coverage of this winter storm warning that's now in effect. Hayden Nix, thank you. We will be on standby for your forecast here coming up at 5.
All right.
All right, meteorologist Hayden Nix in the Weather Center. I want to get to some video that we were able to capture earlier today. This is Interstate 40 near Maumelle. You see a traffic accident up over on the right-hand side of the screen, and you see how close people are tailing each other. You know, we were going to talk to RDOT a little bit about this. We will go ahead and do that here coming up at 4 p.m. We're already in contact with RDOT, hoping to get an update from them at 4. We had just a little bit of some technical issues, but again, this is the video that we captured earlier today. Just how close some of these cars are following in behind each other, and I want to get to RDOT here coming up at 4 o'clock on our next update to talk a little bit about what we can do during winter weather like this, and be as safe as possible, really. And so that'll be coming up at 4 p.m. I want to take you now to live pictures. And this is going to be, we're going to transition from pre-recorded video. This was recorded a little while ago. And I want to get to live video happening right now. And this is the video from that interchange that's happening right now. And you see that accident has been cleared. You still see a lot of cars following close to each other, which will create very dangerous conditions if you have to stop quickly. So we'll talk to RDOT coming up at 4 p.m. But I want to give you an update on the traffic situation across Arkansas right now. And I want to give you a bird's eye view. Let's move to the metro. This is right here in Little Rock, where you can see roads are, of course, snow covered while traffic continues to move. And you see in some cases there's only 1 or 2 lanes of highway available for drivers right now. But you see traffic moving along at an okay clip. Certainly not the traffic load that we saw on Interstate 40 a little while ago. So let's go ahead. I want to give you just a bird's eye view to what's happening across the metro right now. Let me see if I can turn the traffic cameras off. Nope, it's not going to let me. Smartboard can be a little finicky, but you see a lot of traffic is in orange and green. The orange means that traffic is slower, but red means that it's going very slow. So you see traffic taking it very slowly on the interchange here in McElmont and Sherwood area on 4167. Let's actually bring up a camera here. This is North Hills. You see traffic at a decent speed here. A couple lanes available for drivers. Things start to get a little bit slower down here on Interstate 630. This would be over towards West Little Rock. This would be John Barrow, I believe. We're having a little bit of some issues with the smartboard, but we'll get it figured out here. I do want to go up here to Interstate 430, the Arkansas River, and you see here that traffic is moving along pretty well. But of course, bridges, overpasses, that's what's going to ice up pretty quickly and more quickly than other roadways. So this is just to give you a perspective around the metro right now. Of course, things are getting a little icy out there as we start to see this winter storm warning in full effect here. But going right back out to Interstate 40, this is again up in Maumelle. You see the snow plows. They are out, they are working, they will be working overtime here as we start to get this 1-2 punch. Right now we're in the first punch, that second punch coming late tonight, as you heard from meteorologist Hayden Nix just a little while ago when he was giving that weather forecast update. So the snow plows are out, folks, and we are in full weather mode here. KRK4, Fox 16 team coverage coming up in your newscast at 5, but I want to let you know that we will be providing hourly updates here as we get into our weather mode here. Our next live update comes at 4 p.m. And we'll be live with RDOT. They'll give us a pretty good perspective to what's happening across the state. So we'll speak live with RDOT at 4. We will then stream our newscast. We will stream KRK4 News at 5 right to your smartphone, right here on social media. And then we'll have another update, live update at 6 p.m. across all of your digital platforms. So a lot happening today as we are in full weather mode. You see the cameras just zoomed out here in Maumelle. Let's go ahead and give you another perspective here since we're at the computer here. And I want to turn the traffic cameras off to give you a pretty good perspective to what's happening across the metro right now. You see everything in orange, which means slow. Anything in red means very slow. We did have an incident earlier today, Interstate 40 near Pottsville. Things were shut down there. 6 cars involved in an accident. That area has reopened. That is good news there. But I am seeing, before I let you go, I want to get to a tweet that just came out, and this would be from, I'm going to bring you to the weather map here. This is going to be from the Conway Police Department. I'm getting word that there's some roads being shut down right now in Conway. Here we go. This coming in just now from Conway, Salem Road, closed from Highway 64 to Meadow Lake Road. This is an entire section of road that has been shut down due to winter weather. So at this point, for folks that are up there in the Faulkner County area, please be advised that this area is shut down, and we have emergency crews, authorities up in Conway on the scene there, where Salem Road is now closed there as snow, sleet, really whatever you want to call it, starts falling from the sky. So a lot happening across Arkansas today. We have you covered on air and online. KRK.com, Fox16.com, of course, all of our digital platforms will have you covered throughout the afternoon. Another live update on this winter weather alert comes your way at 4 p.m. Again, we're streaming KRK4 News at 5. KRK4 News at 5 coming right to your mobile devices. And then, of course, we'll have another live update for you at 6 o'clock as Arkansas is in a winter weather alert. For now, I'm Mitch McCoy. Stay warm out there, folks. Another update in just about 40 minutes.